Hi everyone, we're going to convert polar coordinates to rectangular points. And the thing we have to remember is from trigonometry that sine of theta equals x over r, and not x over r, y over r, and cosine of theta equals x over r. Now if you cross multiply here, you're going to get y equals r sine of theta, and x equals r cosine of theta. So basically what we're going to do is use these facts to convert. Because when we convert, this form is in r comma theta, the ray and the angle, and we want it as an ordered pair, x comma y. So this is where we're going to get our y and our x. So the first example we have is 6 comma pi over 6. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to start with the x so I don't get confused. X equals r is 6 cosine of pi over 6. So we know that cosine of pi over 6 is 3 pi, square root of 3 pi over 2. So these two cancel and you get 3. So that's 3 square root of 3 is your x. And your y is going to be the same thing. It's going to be 6 times sine of pi over 6, which we know sine of pi over 6 is 1/2, which gives us 3. So my rectangular coordinates are 3 square root of 3, comma 3. And we just converted from polar to rectangular. Now we're going to do a few more and go a little faster. So basically this is r theta, and we're going to find x first, which is r cosine of theta. So x equals 3 cosine of pi over 2. And our y is r times sine of theta. So this is going to be y equals 3 sine of pi over 2. And we know that cosine of pi over 2 is 0. And we know that sine of pi over 2 is 1. So my coordinates are, my x is 0, this equals 0, 0, and this equals 3. All right? Now, the next ones, we're going to go a little faster. So we have 4 comma 3 pi over 2. So this one's going to be, where is it? All right, I already did some of these. So basically, we have 3 pi over 2. So x equals r times cosine of theta, which equals 4 times cosine of 3 pi over 2, which equals 4 times 0, which equals 0. Our y equals r sine of theta. It's 4 times sine of 3 pi over 2, which equals 4 times negative 1, which equals negative 4. So it's going to be 0, comma, negative 4 is my x, y. All right. Here's another one. We have x equals r cosine of theta, which equals negative 2 cosine of 0. Whoops. Cosine of 0. Cosine of 0 is 1, so we have negative 2 times 1 equals negative 2. Y equals r sine of theta, which equals negative 2 times sine of 0. Sine of 0 is 0. I always do this. Every time it's 0, I put theta. Alright, so 0, which equals negative 2 times 0, which is 0. So x comes first. That's negative 2, comma, 0. Alright, another one. I'm gonna kind of shorten this. is going to be negative 3 cosine of pi, which equals negative 3 times negative 1, which equals 3. Y equals negative 3 sine of pi, which equals negative 3 times 0, which equals 0. So my answer is 3 comma 0. And now we have this one. We have x equals 6 times cosine of 150 degrees, which equals 6 times negative square root of 3 over 2, which equals negative 3 square root of 3. And y equals the same thing, but with cosine, which is equals 6 times 1/2, which equals 3. So my x is negative 3 square root of 3, and my y is 3. We have to think 3 more. We have x equals 5 times cosine of 300, which equals 5 times 1/2, which equals 5/2. And y equals 5 times sine of 300 degrees, these are degrees, which equals 5 times the negative square root of 3 over 2, which equals negative 5 square root of 3 over 2. So my coordinates, rectangular coordinates, are 5 over 2 and negative 5 square root of 3 over 2. And let's do one more. We have x equals negative 2 cosine of 3 pi over 4. Y equals negative 2 sine 3 pi over 4. And so this is going to equal negative 2 times negative square root of 2 over 2. And negative 2 times the square root of 2 over 2. These two cancels. Two negatives make a positive, so we have square root of 2 and negative square root of 2. These two cancel. Okay, thank you. That's all. And I hope you'll have a nice day. Bye-bye.